This film show was delayed due to no blackout blinds on the Churchill windows. Punk rock or what? Hello, Dullbedsitblogger here. And, I went to a UK debut screening of a film. It's Gonna Blow, which was a film about the 1986 to 1996 underground music scene in San Diego, and features bands like Truman's Waters, Rocket from the Crypt, Stone Temple Pilots in there pretending to come from San Diego ways, Blink 182 in there. They were signed to quite an underground label from San Diego. And Tit Wrench, who are one of my favourite bands. And to be honest, I did see it to try and find more information about Tit Wrench, because they're one of those bands that I found out really like the songs. They do this sort of like somewhere between dancey, hard dancey kind of stuff and hardcore music, in a similar kind of like to Revolting Cocks or Ministry, but perhaps a little bit more towards Jack Officers. Yeah, they're a great band, but they didn't feature heavily in this film, which is a real shame. But there was lots of really interesting bands that I might have to have a little look out for. There was a band called Fishwife who looked insane to see live. And another band called Crash Worship, who looked like they put on a pretty bonkers show of this crazed show. It kind of looks like what I'd think the Butthole Surfers early shows would have looked like. Lots of fire happening, nude people, craziness going on, and with a harsh soundscape happening behind it. So yeah, I'm going to check them out definitely. And it talked about the kind of the rise of San Diego from the music being quite an underground thing. San Diego's a military town or a navy town, and it was known for being, the mosh pits. People in the mosh pits were doing it for real. They were hardcore. And then after Seattle, the bubble had popped on Seattle. Record labels were kind of looking for the new Seattle, and San Diego was mooted to be the new Seattle, and like a lot of bands got signed very quickly, and there was lots of people snaking around the town trying to find out about the new scene. There's bands like Stone Temple Pilots who pretended that they came from San Diego to give them some coolness. Yeah, it's quite an interesting film. Two downsides on it. Some of the interviews were a little bit difficult to understand and hear, but I don't know whether that's partly the sound system of where it was being shown or the film. But, it had a nice gritty punk rock edge to the film. And number two was the font they'd chosen for putting people's names up. It was alright when they used the bold font, but when they used the thin one, it was a very handwritten, very narrow font, which was difficult to read. So I kind of that kept bugging me a bit, but it's no biggie, really, is it? No, it was a good film, and it was good to see sort of like about a scene and how it happened and developed, and where various bands came from, like Rockets from the Crypt, who came out of that scene, and they got pretty big in Europe, and they'd be playing to thousands of people in Europe, and then they'd go back to San Diego and play to 25 people. Truman's Waters as well. I'm pretty sure I saw at a Reading festival, maybe. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, it's a generally or all-round good film. If you're interested in music or interested in subcultures and stuff like that, I'd check it out if I were you. Bye bye.